Hi guys, in this episode of the Nostalgia Trip, I'm gonna be continuing with my reactions to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 1987 series. Currently we are on the second episode of the third season, called Turtles on Trial. Why the hell are the Turtles gonna be trialed in court? I don't know. It's still kind of unclear whether they are a public figure or not, but I guess we're gonna find out why they're gonna be trialed in this one. It's gonna be hopefully an interesting episode, because so far, with the first episode of the third season, the quality has been about the same, but at least the vibe has been more enjoyable to me. So I'm curious to see whether that kind of pattern is gonna continue with this episode. Whether at least based on the vibe, I will enjoy it, even if the quality or the plot itself isn't particularly interesting, because that was very much the case for the first episode. It wasn't a memorable episode or anything, but it wasn't boring one, at least, I guess. So I'm hoping I'm gonna like this one as well, in the same regard. But as usual, before we get into the reaction, I do want to remind you that you can get a full-length version of these reactions over on my Patreon or Ko-fi account, where by subscribing to specific tiers I've created for it, you can get access to some or all of my full-length reactions, which includes cartoons, short live-action TV series, long live-action TV series, and movie full-length reactions. Although, alternatively, if you just want to stick with the YouTube versions of these videos, that's completely fine as well. It's up to you. And yeah, enough chit chat about things that don't matter. Let's just get into the reaction in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Michelangelo, we were watching wrestling. That's like a total snore, dudes. Now,
A little bit, yeah.
Really intense.
I used to watch wrestling when I was little, but don't really find it that enjoyable nowadays. Mostly, honestly, because I'm just too busy with watching other types of content than anything else, but I also don't want to support a shitty company like WWE.
And I say these freaky turtles are menaces who ought to be hunted down.
Look at them. Yeah,
MAGA morons.
They're acting like animals. What am I saying? Why is he turning people against us, April?
Because he's a piece of shit, and because it makes him a lot of money, that's why.
Aw, don't take it personally, guys. Kellerman hates everybody. Try not.
Yeah, that is not creepy at all.
We don't look like mutant turtles. Yeah, we look like mutant turtles wearing people masks. I think it makes a real fashion statement. And the statement is yuck.
Well, at least you could have put some hair onto it.
If we had the solar midnight you were sent to the surface to steal, we could use it to power the refrigeration units. But did you get any? No.
No. That was kind of funny sound coming from Krang. Dun da 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 da.
Not bad. Oh, outstanding, mon frere. Now check out these chucks. Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Another victory for the forces of good.
I think they mean business.
Yeah, time to boogie, dudes. And I'm talking warp speed. Yeah, but where to? Quick, over there. You do it.
I better go. I've got to help them get ready for the show. I can't wait to see the Turtles again. Imagine the Turtles as media superstars. I wonder if I can get their autographs. I wonder if they'll still talk to me.
Why wouldn't they?
Don't worry.
They love talking to humans, and you're friends with them now. You know about them.
What if I like get stage fright and get...
Why would you even want their autographs?
Still here, Krang? I thought you'd have the turtles defeated by now.
I love the sarcastic tone in his voice. I thought you would have the turtles defeated by now. It was really funny. I love it.
In the same warehouse as the solar midnight. With this, I'll be able to destroy the turtles.
You would be able to destroy them with literally every single device that you have, but for whatever reason, you're too picky about the way to kill them. That's always the downfall of the villains. They're just always so specific about the ways they want to defeat their enemies.
You were supposed to come up behind the museum.
Sorry, boss.
Missed it by that much.
Yeah, by that much.
Yes, Master Splinter?
There are reports of strange creatures in the Natural History Museum, Leonardo.
We'll check it out, Sensei.
But what about the TV show?
He's gonna have to wait.
This is more important.
I'm honestly surprised to see this version of the Turtles be that damn responsible. Like I mentioned many times at this point,
Hey,
I was under a very different impression about these Turtles after watching all the crossovers with the 2003 and 2012 TMNT. They're far more mature and responsible than I ever thought they were.
They just trashed the amphibian exhibit.
Like I said in my movie reactions to the TMNTs, the 90s movies, it really seems like whenever the Turtles crossed over with the 1987 TMNT, they were actually crossing over with the movie Turtles. Because while these guys joke around from time to time and are like definitely less serious than some of the other TMNT, it's not substantially so.
had crossed my mind.
Say your prayers, lizard face.
Like they're still pretty serious.
To you.
Like they still take themselves seriously and are not fooling around all the time.
How's that for poetic justice?
And a one, and a two.
Maybe there was an easier way to do that rather than just throwing him over there.
This gives me an idea.
Yeah, just use things from the museum to fight. Despite the fact that those are going to be important historical relics.
Bebop, you imbecile. Never mind. I'll take care of them.
Great. John Wayne when we need him.
Hey Shredder, why don't you pick somebody with your own armor?
I'm the one who wears the weapon.
I've got you now, dude.
Haha.
Medieval breakaway threads.
Wow, great hiding place, April.
I've always admired your quick grasp of a situation.
Surrender or else.
Oh, Raph, you a quick-witted bastard.
There's no choice. We can't let him hurt April.
Let them go. I have the robot now, and I am...
How convenient. Just as Shredder is about to destroy them, there's a reason why he can't.
You will, you will. Or I'll come looking for you in this thing.
You never let me have any fun.
Aw,
Steady.
he's such a whiny bitch, man.
But boss, you heard me.
He's so pathetic.
Boy, now nervous? What a bogus concept. Come on, Michelangelo. It's only a TV show.
Yeah, just forget that 100 million people will be watching you.
But that doesn't really matter. Like, I kind of, I guess, have a bit of stage fright, and yet I have no issue talking to thousands of you on YouTube. It's not the same when you're on camera like this, compared to when you're actually in front of those hundreds to thousands of people. Krang, I think you're having a little bit too much fun.
You say you're trying to help people, and yet you just trashed the Natural History Museum.
We're trying to save the world from an invasion by an alien brain from Dimension X.
Oh, come on, that's a little hard to swallow. What is, the invasion, the brain, or the Dimension X?
Hey, I'll ask the questions here, you abnormal amphibians.
Can everybody stop with the fucking transliteration because it's pissing me off?
And I'm going to be there to laugh at him when he does. Come on.
It is kind of funny seeing them try to come up with new ways to still have the transliteration with their offensive words, but at the same time it's kind of annoying how much they're forcing it. Jesus!
Hey, he must have been taking voice lessons. Wow, he can really project.
Come on, turtles, we're needed. We fight for truth, justice, and a bigger slice of the pizza pie. Don't look now, compadres, but I think we're a little bit outgunned. Tell me about it. Custer didn't have it this bad.
Oh, smart, Donnie. Man, this is actually kinda epic. I know it's kinda obvious to describe it this way, but this really feels like a middle of the show kind of episodes, which is continuity heavy, and it's like an epic battle between the good guys and the bad guys. I'm not really describing what I mean very well, but like, it really feels like the third battle between the good guys and the bad guys in a fight in which they had like 5 battles. You know? It feels like a middle of the road kind of face-off between the good guys and the bad guys. The kind of face-off that you would have halfway through a show's run. It like feels like an episode from season 3 of the 2003 series or season 3 of the 2012 series. It's kind of what I'm trying to say. It is fitting that it is an episode in season 3.
That's all we ask. I'm sorry.
And I'm definitely continuing to enjoy the vibe of this show for this season. Okay. So, for this one, the plot was definitely more entertaining and more memorable compared to the previous one because it was actually facing off against the main villains of this show. And honestly, the quality was also a little bit higher compared to the last episode. But, I mean, to be honest, there really isn't but. Sure, there was part of the episode where I was kind of getting bored by it and I just wanted it to be over, but I do have that kind of feeling with most of the episodes of the show because the pacing is still very slow compared to what I'm used to with modern shows. It's like trying to watch an episode of Doctor Who from like the 60s when it first started. No matter how good an episode it might be, it was just made in a different way. And sure, this is in the 90s, so it's far more recent, but the point still stands. The pacing of modern shows is far quicker compared to shows from even like 30 years ago, so it's gonna be hard to watch them, especially when I'm doing it for like a reaction. Like I've said many times, whenever I'm doing a reaction like this, I have higher standards and less patience. So yeah, it was actually a pretty enjoyable episode outside of the fact that I did have that moment where I felt a little bored by it, because the story of the episode was pretty epic. A fight between the two factions. Like, it was actually a pretty multifaceted episode. You had Shredder going after the turtles, you had Krang going after the turtles, and you had the humans in New York going after the turtles. Like, there was more than one plot in the episode, I guess, and I kind of enjoyed that about it. Like, it felt more complicated and more interesting because of that. It was actually overall pretty enjoyable. Like, thinking about the plot, it was enjoyable. Sure, I would have liked it to be a little bit more compacted and fast-paced, but it wasn't bad. I actually really enjoyed it. And like I said earlier, the vibe of Season 3, I'm definitely digging it quite a lot, which I'm glad about because, like I said, it's like 46 episodes. If I didn't enjoy it at least this much, it would be hell going through those 46 episodes. Especially if I try to react to one episode each day. That would be hell. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm actually enjoying it quite a lot. And I can't even really exactly describe what about the vibes of Season 3 is so enjoyable, but it is. Like, something about the way the visuals of the show are, with like the more muted colors, and the general tone is a little bit more similar to like the 2003 series, and I'm really digging that. You know, it's really kind of funny how when you think about it, each of the TMNT shows' tone kind of flows into the next one. Except for the Rise of the TMNT, actually. Because you have the 90s series, the 87 series, which starts off silly and gets serious towards the end. Then you have the 2003 series, which starts off serious and gets silly towards the end. Then you have the 2012 series, which starts off silly and gets pretty serious towards the end. It's only the Rise of the TMNT which doesn't start off serious and gets silly towards the end, and instead just starts off silly and kind of, I think, gets more interesting and somewhat serious towards the end. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of like how that happens, how it flows like that. And the fact that this season, Season 3, is starting to feel more like the 2003 series, at least I'm just getting vibes of the 2003 series a little bit. I'm digging that. It definitely makes it more enjoyable for me. So yeah, due to how much stuff actually kind of happens in this episode, I'm honestly going to give this one a pretty high and solid 9 out of 10. I actually enjoyed this one quite a lot. Sure, the pacing was still slow, and I still consider episode 4 or 5 of season 2 the best episode so far. The one with the flying dragon. That was definitely the most energetic episode so far. But I did enjoy this episode quite a lot as well, so there's that. But yeah, what did you guys think about this episode? Comment thoughts down below and let's have a discussion about it. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently 7 patrons on Patreon. Omari Bridgman, Deadpool, August Dice, Little Uzi, Corby Dead, Shironyan, and Edsub123. Thank you guys for your support, I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me that you've decided to support me and you've continued to support me for such a long time. Hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. Another thing that I also want to tell you guys before we end this video is something about me that some of you may or may not know, that will also explain why do I look and dress the way that I do. That being the fact that I am trans. In particular, I am somewhere between a non-binary person and a trans woman. I'm not quite sure at the moment and probably won't be sure until I talk to a professional who deals with trans people, but that is where the reason why I'm telling you all this comes. I need your help. Due to the fact that I live in a homophobic and transphobic Eastern European country with a family that won't really accept the fact that I'm trans if they found out, there is not really a feasible or easy way for me to transition here with minimal repercussions. So that's why I would really appreciate any kind or any amount of support that you guys can give me with this. That said, I don't want to guilt trip you or anything, so if you don't want to or you don't have the means to help out, that's fine, don't feel bad. I just want you to know that it would be greatly appreciated if you did help me out get out of this situation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and thank you for hearing me out. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description to my Twitter if you don't follow me over there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I am also a writer. And if you enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Coffee account where you can pledge support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!